Hello everyone, so I've got some more Christmas cards, some scrappy paper and washi cards today, plus a bonus one that's a different idea. For the first card, here is one example, and we're going to make a beautiful card. We'll need a few different supplies. Let's get right into that. So you're going to need some paper scraps, Christmas themed hopefully. I have some gathered here, and I can show you the example one again. I've made a few different varieties. You're going to need an embossing folder if you want to do it just like this. A card base, of course. I've got a red card base for this card. And sentiment and maybe some things to decorate it, such as the stickers and a bow, etc. This is an old favorite, the Cricut Cuttlebug Swiss Dots folder, which I have already die cut out my ornament. Now, you just need a large ornament shape. For this one, I'm using this old kit I have from Tonic Craft Kit, and I get to save the ornament part. Maybe that'll go on a different card. I could do some fun inking or decorating with that, but it has this nice, it has two large ornament dies. I'm sure there are others available. I don't even know if this one is still available, but that's the one I use for this card. So first, I cut out a large ornament in the center of this white panel, and then I ran it through the die cut with the embossing folder to get this lovely shape here. Now, first step here on your card base is you want to line it up, and I, for this card, want a little border here. Little, what is this, an 1/8 of an inch border. Now, you could use like temporary adhesive to hold it in place. I'm gonna be reckless here and just try to hold it. But I have a light pencil here, and I just want to go around and trace. I'm trying not to get much pencil mark on the white border, but I want to know where to put my washi tape or paper strips so that I can maximize the space there. Now I'm going to show you, it's not a dark line, but it's enough to see. And so basically I just want them to go past the outline, and then I don't need it to cover this whole card. And I like this little diagonal. You could do horizontal, but I'm going to lay them out. And how am I going to do this time? I think I'm going to use the wet glue this time. I think I did use some other adhesive, but maybe I'll put a little bit of adhesive on the backs of my strips, but I'm going to try it this way. If it doesn't work very well, well, you'll get to see it in live action. So you need, for the same look, you'll need a variety of paper strips, and I have different lengths, so I think that's gonna inform where I put things, because these ones are from like an old Spellbinders kit. I don't have any more than what I have right here. And actually, you can trim it off and use it in more than one place. In fact, you know, I'm gonna just grab my little shears here and just trim this like that. But I don't really have to worry about putting adhesive on every end, in fact, because once I glue this down, it'll hold it down anyway. And so then I'm going to go around and just vary the different pieces that I have. And so when you get down here, you want to pay attention to where your outline is, because see, I have to go clear over here with this one to get it, excuse me, past that area. And I might want to go even just a little bit further. I got a tickle in my throat there, just to be sure. And I think that's safe. I hope that's safe. Let me see if this one is long enough. I like the Merry Christmas sentiment there. I think it is going to cover it. My glue's drying already. Stop that. That's okay. I can always add more. It's not need to be perfect. And maybe we'll put another, this one works. I don't want to get my fingers all dirty here. We haven't done this one in a while, so we'll put that one. Uh-oh. I'm getting glue everywhere. This one's going to have to wait till later because it's too short. So hopefully I didn't misplan this. Oh, I have another guy here. But I want to vary the thicknesses too. So I don't even know what that one is. We're looking like we're doing all right here. What is this guy? Oh, it's the reindeer one again. I think you can go right there. And then this one, I'll just add a little because I don't know where this is going to end. And let's check it with our little... I think that's going to be just right there. So I do have some excess to trim off here. I don't know where the end of that is. I don't want to trim it too. Let's see if that still works. Yay! So for this one, I am going to grab my tape runner to glue this down. And use that. And for good measure, I am going to just make sure I'm just going to go around the edges with some wet glue so it all gets stuck on. Here's the tricky part, getting it on. I don't want any red space showing, but I also, since I've decided to do this little border, I want it to be even. And it looks like that's going to work out just fine. And there it is, the beginnings of our lovely little ornament. So, I also have this cute little bow. This came from some die set. I think some random Christmassy die set. Here it has another piece here. Not sure. But you could also use, you know, an actual ribbon and make a bow. I've got some foam dots here to put on my bow because I like a little dimension. And let's see, I think we have enough here with just one little one. Yeah! My bow! I want to move this a little bit. So I cut out this little bow with the die in a nice gold. And if you did have like, a part showing, hopefully it would be up there and you could cover it up with the bow. But thankfully I do not. And then, let's see, I need a sentiment. I think I have this scrap left over from a Spellbinders kit. And then I have, I have some letters too. So maybe Merry Christmas. I think I should start with the Christmas. And the S is the middle. So in order to have enough room for it all, maybe I should start with the S, huh? Is that enough room? I sure hope so. I'm not going to push it down too much yet to give myself a little bit of leeway. There! That is nice. I'm going to press that down now. I am committed. And the chipboard ones, I usually like to add a little bit of adhesive, especially since I'm putting it onto an embossed cardstock, which has the dimension factor. And I think we'll put it right there. And that decorates this card nicely. You can see here this was the Merry Wishes set. I'll try to list the different Spellbinders kits that I used in the description if you're interested. Because if you have some old kits, you might want to reference that. So let's have a look. We have, maybe I need to zoom out a little. Have this version. We have a similar one here, which I used some scraps from old kits to make, you know, I needed it to have a little more impact with this sticker, and so I just backed some red cardstock, then some gold cardstock, and actually this is not a sticker, it was a sentiment tag or whatever that I cut. I don't know what was around the edge, I don't remember, but I just wanted the sentiment, so I cut it in a square, and then I just embellished with these pieces. Here's a more simple version. Now this one has that same bow, but just cut out in red cardstock, and it's more traditional Christmas colors. And then there's the strip of paper here that I used as the sentiment because it says Merry Christmas. So if your pattern paper says a sentiment, that might be what you use. Here is a washi tape version. Now for this one, I taped onto white cardstock because it looked a little dull on the red. So first I taped onto a white cardstock scrap and then put it down here. And I have a little red bow, which is ribbon. And finally, here's one with a little bit less traditional colors and strips, and here is the sentiment. So we have 5 different unique but the same card design. Alright, card number 2 is going to use washi again, and I didn't have enough glittery green washi, but I did have some washi sheets of glittery paper that I'm going to use also. So I have another card base here that I'm starting with, and it's this cute print of just basic Christmas trees. And again, I'm gonna use another Christmas tree die. This one, it doesn't really, this one cuts out all those circles too, but I'm just using the negative space, and so it doesn't really matter that much. But here I have cut out this one, and I just want the negative space here. And I put a whole lot of fun foam on there. And as you can see, I used this same stamp that I had cut from a previous video there, and stamped it out with gold embossed powder. So we'll have a look there since I've already done that off camera. You want to get all that foam on there. It's going to make a nice look. The idea here is pretty simple, is we're just going to put strips of the washi behind. Now you could stop them short so it's just the tree, but I really liked the way it looks with them going through. And some of my washi isn't sticking that well. It's lifting a bit, so I might just add a little adhesive as well. And I've gone ahead and started here. As you can see, I started. Again, you're going to want to lay your pattern down. I think I must have done this before adding all the foam. But before you add the foam dimension, lay it down right side up and mark where your tree is. And if you can see here, you can see that little mark, that's the top of my tree, so that I know where to stop with the washi. And so I'm just going to go in a pattern. I'm following my example here. I love this gold washi, this little thin, that makes the perfect little trunk area. Now if your tree didn't have a trunk area, I'd skip that part, but mine did, and so that is why I chose that. So I think I ran out of this washi, and that's why I went ahead to try this one. This one I think will have adequate adhesive, but you know, to be safe, we will just, whoops, add a little. Boy, I went off there. And it is longer than I need because, I don't know, I don't think I could do it if it wasn't. I'd rather trim off a wee bit than have it short of the edge, if that makes sense there. So my next one is this lovely color. These are the ones that are kind of low tack, but that's okay. We can work with low tack. I mean, washi traditionally is low tack, so no worries. I don't want to get it too close together. Like, I don't want to overlap them because I don't think I planned enough washi for overlapping. And tears really easily there. I'm going to go all the way across again. And this is my other color. right here of the same low-tack washi. And I think I have just enough room for my final one, which we'll just put a little bead of glue across there. And I cut this because it was a larger piece. I cut it, it is 1, 2, 3, 3/8. Yes, that took me a while to figure that out. 3/8 of an inch. That's the width I cut that one. I think it's a 6x6 sheet, so it does give me the leeway of being a little wider than my card. Okay, got those on, and now it's time for the wow moment where we overlay this. See, it fits just nicely. There's a little gap there, but again, like I always say, this is handmade, so it shouldn't look perfect. You know, then they might think you bought it. So that's, it's okay to have a little wonkiness here and there. Now, this part I do want to get it relatively centered, so please excuse if my head is getting in the way. It can be hard to tell if it's centered when you've got a lot going on here and there and everywhere. At this point, I can open this up. What'd I do? I wrapped it around the back of the card and trim off the excess here. A nice pair of long scissors is helpful for trimming off that without any problem. There we go. Look at that, so cute. Now, to finish off this card, you may have noticed this little sentiment. I got this set of holiday Christmas sentiment dies a while ago. Maybe it was last year. And this is one of them, and it says joy. Need some help to get it out of it. Now, I just remembered why I left it in the die. Because it has this tiny tittle for the J. Thankfully, it's sitting right there, and I'm going to leave it right there for a minute because I want to get some glue on here and glue this down, and then I'll just add a dot of glue for the tittle. And I have a little bit overhanging. That's okay. I could have angled this up a little more, but I didn't. Let's put just a little dot of glue and grab this guy right here. Oop, I don't want that in there. Yeah, there we go. And that finishes off this card nicely using either scraps of green paper or washi if you have it. It makes a cute little Christmas card. For the bonus card today, it's not as much using scraps, but it is a great way to use a really bold pattern like this one here that's got some diagonals, or, you know, a patterned card base. That's what this is. And so I'm also using some scrap cardstock, you know, just craft cardstock. And here is the card we're going to make really quickly. It's very simple because I have this little fancy die here that already cuts out the frame, and that is in fact where that bow die came from. So this die set, the bow die that I used on the first card, came with these to decorate this particular die. I honestly don't remember when I bought this or where, and so I can't tell you that. But if you have any kind of frame, or even if you didn't have this die, you can use just a rectangle and maybe add some die pieces around the edge, or, you know, you can add the bow there. But this one I cut out in watercolor paper so that I could just kind of do watercoloring around the edge there. So let's go ahead and first put on this piece. This piece is 2 inches by 5¼ makes a nice place to anchor everything. So I'm gonna put it over here. So for this one, I think I am actually going to pull out some Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to do the watercolor effect. And I have my little color chart, and I have picked out deep green, green, and light green for the leaves and things, the needles and holly. And then I have carmine red and dark pink for the berries. Oh, and I probably want something... I might want a little brown. I think I might grab beige, if I can find it quickly. Here we go, beige. So, let me just set that aside, and I will speed this little section up. So I have done this, and I did get some ink all over, which is usual for me, but I think that's going to be covered up with my bow, so I'm not too worried about that. Again, if you didn't have a bow die, you can always use a little bit of ribbon to make a bow there. And oh my goodness, I forgot all about my sentiment. Oh wow. Okay, where is it? I don't remember what I did with it. Hold on. I found it! I found it! And here it is. I need a block. Just a little sentiment. I am going to stamp it out in some of this ink. Hopefully that's the right color. This is the Candied Apple. That's probably close enough. Let me make sure I get it nice and inky. And I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute. Well, we got a decent stamp. It's not the perfect, but you know what? It's handmade. Alright, and so I have put some fun foam on the back here. I need to add some glue. My ink is probably not dry yet, so I'm being careful. The best policy is to let that dry. And for this one, I want it kind of centered, but a little towards the top. And that's so that I can add some embellishment on. Let me see. So that I don't smudge my sentiment, I'm going to press down with this paper towel. Yeah, good thing. You see the ink on there? Phew. Alright, so I have some little, what are these? This is so old. Little, adhesive gems. And actually, I think I'm gonna grab a pair of tweezers to help me out here. These have 4 different colors, excuse me, but 2 different greens, and so in this corner here, I'm gonna pick the smallest one and do a trio with these because I like how it goes with the colors. Oop, that one didn't serve. No, come on. I can always glue it on, but there we go. Press that down. Maybe I should. If those come off, I'll have to add adhesive. And then finally, to add just a little more bling, I'm going to do that same trio of colors in the medium large gem. So let me start with, I do have one that's larger here. This one right here. And then I'll take a red one, put it just a little bit further away. And finally, oops, the lighter green one. Oh, isn't it nice to have a decent pair of tweezers to help you out? And that is it for the bonus card. Let's take a quick look at all 3 cards that we made. We have the beautiful one with paper scraps, and you could do this with washi as well. Then we have some green washi, and finally the bonus card using a little bit of a bold print and some scraps, and we've got 3 quick and easy, beautiful, handmade DIY Christmas cards. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful and creative day. Bye!